Thank you, Director. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chris, for your insightful work. It's good to be back in Wayne County. A quick story. More than a couple of years ago, after I was appointed by Governor Casey as the 37th State Fire Marshal, I was invited to Wayne County and spend an entire day. Now, when I first thought about that, I thought, why would I want to spend an entire day in Wayne County? But the reason I came is Jim Carmichael invited me. And we had a great day. We visited several fire departments, had an awesome piece of strawberry pie at Worcester Township, great lunch at the barn. I don't remember if Jim paid or not. And then that night we went to the Wayne County Firefighters meeting at the training center. That started for me a program that I call listening tours. And as of today, I've been in 86 of the 88 counties. And it started in Wayne County, talking to local first responders, fire chiefs, township trustees, city council, mayors, whoever, safety directors, whoever wants to talk about public safety, and talk about the role that the state fire marshal has. The Ohio Fire Marshal's Office is the oldest in the nation. So if you ever have a trivia question about who's the oldest state fire marshal's office in the nation, it was created in 1900. And so that's a little bit of history. But I went county to county talking to first responders and said, what are your needs? How can we help? And it used to be a joke for us to go around and say, hi, I'm from the state of Ohio, and I'm here to help you. But I take that seriously. And I listen to the first responders in every county, all but two. I get one more of them this week. And went back to Columbus and worked on those two priorities. One of those priorities was training. We need training. We're hungry for training. We can't afford training. We need more training. And we got busy to put together more training grants. The Ohio Fire Academy close to home. Firefighter 1 training grant, 36-hour fire grants. A lot of small equipment grant programs that some of you I know have received dollars from us. But the second thing I heard right on the tail of that was communications. Our communication system is terrible. We can't talk to our neighboring department. We can't talk down here in Flowers Holler. We need help with communication. So I took that question back to Columbus, and this is something I directly with the governor's office on, is a grant program to help people buy Marks radios. Why Marks? Because I was convinced that this statewide system is the answer. Now, it may not be the answer for every county. What you have may be working for you. That's awesome. But I believe in areas where they're struggling with communication, this P25 system, the Marks system, with several vendors now that you can get equipment from, is truly the long-term answer. I say long-term because there's no real quick fix. This is an expensive move on all of our parts. But I went back and I said, we need to try to find a way to help these local fire departments improve their communication system. So in fiscal year 15 that we just finished, at the end of June, we were able to get $3 million in Marks grants, and all but a few $1,000s of that $3 million is on the street. A lot of fire departments got grants from us to buy radios. Now, here's the winners in those grant requests. The winners were those 7 counties, almost had 8, 7 counties that every fire department in the county signed on. They applied individually. Someone in the county, the EMA director in most cases, or the president of the Fire Chiefs Association in that county, they submitted that grant application to us as a county-wide effort. Because it was a county-wide effort, we score these based on the budget of the departments, how many runs they have, service areas, a lot of things like that. These Marks dollars went to primarily a lot of rural counties in Ohio, because A, they recognized they had a communication problem, B, they recognized that Marks was the answer for them, but they needed help to buying it. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple examples, really. Belmont County, fairly rural county. It was 18 departments in Belmont County. Every one of the departments signed on to the system, and they got nearly $800,000 to buy radios for their fire departments. It's $50,000 per fire department. It's not the total solution. That might not be enough radios. I will say they're a lot cheaper than we put this thing together a few years ago, because you can get a radio for a couple grand. So you guys can do the math on what your needs may be, but there's $50,000 per fire department available from the Marks grant. Now, here's the breaking news. In the budget bill that Governor Casey just signed a couple weeks ago, there's $3 million in fiscal year 16. That's what we built. That's the budget year we just started, and there's $3 million in fiscal year 17 to continue that grant process. The first folks that will get dollars are people that were funded last time for their equipment and their user fees at $20 a month. those user fees will get paid for first. So those people that got radios in the last cycle, we're going to continue to pay for their user fees. They got to reapply for the grant, because maybe something's happened back home, maybe they can afford that user fee. If not, they'll apply for the grant. And then we'll take those other requests. So, as I heard the director say, if all of Wayne County Fire Departments can get on the same page and say this is the way we want to go, and you all fill out your individual forms, that's going to be on our website any day now, my IT people are telling me, and you bring all those together in one package and mail them or deliver them to our office, county-wide efforts are going to float to the top, so to speak. Those are the goals we're after. To me, it's about three things: interoperability, interoperability, and interoperability. Every place I've been, fire chief for 22 years, I'm a recovering legislator, township administrator, I wore a lot of different hats. Carmichael said I couldn't keep a job. Every place I've been though, and I've critiqued a lot of these incidents. Some drills, some for real. The number one thing that everybody had problems with in a large scale incident, or a small scale incident for that matter, is what? Communications. It's always communications. The radios didn't work. This didn't work. That didn't work. So that's why I said we need to be a partner with local governments in this process. Governor Kasich, my boss, is all about shared services. This is the state saying we want to be a partner with you in improving your communications. To the law enforcement friends in the audience, or the other safety or service workers, service departments, I don't have any dollars for you. I know that there's people working on that. I also know in this last budget bill that our good friend Senator Height, who was Representative Height when Jim and I were in the legislature, got $2 million in the budget bill to help with user fees. Now, my understanding is that $2 million is going to go toward local government user fees. Those of us that are on the MARC system at the state level, we will continue to pay $20 a month. My understanding is that $2 million is going to offset user fees for local government users. I don't know what that means. I would assume, though, it's going to be something less than $20. I just don't know what that's going to be. We may know soon, because I represent the fire service on the MARC steering committee, and we believe there's going to be a presentation to us at the end of this month about the fee structure for MARC's user fees, and so there may be something that will roll out later this month about how those user fees may change, and I really would expect them to change. I just don't know what that means today. So, in the whole message of interoperability, and the message from listening to fire departments all over the state, it was said, P25 is the answer. MARCS is the answer. The state of Ohio, your tax dollars, has built this massive system all over the state. And you're going to hear more about what it looks like in Wayne County from the folks of MARCS that are here, my good friend Daryl and Dick. I'm not the techie guy. Okay, I know when I push my walkie-talkie down on Route 7 along the Ohio River in the middle of nowhere during a thunderstorm, I just know it's going to work. I don't know how it works. They can tell you how it works and what that looks like in Wayne County. So, any day now on our website, State Fire Marshal's website, you will see MARCS radio grants become available. You download and print the application. Individual departments will apply. Hopefully somebody will put those all together in a countywide effort, because I can give you county after county examples that they did not get funded because it was 5 of the 10 departments or 12 of the 14 departments. But for those counties where we had 18 of 18 or 10 of 10 or 5 of 5 in some of those very small counties, they were funded, and each department got 50 grand. The early reports that I'm getting is they are thrilled to death with the system. They're thrilled to death with the coverage. Every place where they said MARCS wouldn't work, it has worked. Every place they said, well, there's a dead spot down there in Flowers Holler, guess what? Dick Miller and Darrell Anderson proved them wrong, because they had Dick Miller down there in Flowers Holler with a walkie-talkie talking back to the meeting we're in. When we were meeting with the county, Ross County. Remember the Ross County night we had? It wasn't all fun and games, but we proved the point that those radios would work in Ross County. So I'm convinced that this is the long-term solution. I'm convinced that we will continue to be a partner with you, to the fire chiefs, the fire service, on helping you get there. I'm convinced that we will be able to not only get you the hardware you need to get started, We would pay for those user fees as long as you reapply for that grant. And I can't guarantee it, but I have a pretty good feeling that those user fees are going to go down. So it's going to get more affordable to be on the system. This is one of those systems that the more people that get on it, the cheaper it's going to get for all of us. Of all the state agencies, I think ODOT was the last state agency to finally throw up the white flag and say, all right, the rest of you are right. And ODOT just went on the system. Now you talk about interoperability. In a major incident, I'm sitting back there by that window hearing that storm go through, and my chief deputy fire marshal was fire chief of Xenia. He's lived at those tornadoes. And think about what needs to happen during those kind of incidents. We all need to be able to talk to each other, not just fire to fire, but fire to law enforcement, to the SO, to the road departments, to ODOT. We may need that kind of interoperability to get things done. That's what I believe this level of system will do. So again, I'm just here to tell you, to announce again that those dollars are going to be available any day now. $3 million in fiscal year 16. Again, if you can't get it done in 16, and then again this time next year, fiscal year 17, that's $3 million. The Marks Steering Committee is working hard to make sure that you're all represented at the table. For those of you that are maybe participating in that local government committee that Bill Vidra has kind of informally chaired, it allows the steering committee to appoint the chairman of the local government committee to the Marks Steering Committee. So the local governments will have a representative on the Marks Steering Committee. So I guess what I'm saying is those of us that are in Columbus, we're listening, and we're trying to come up with solutions to try to partner with you to make this thing work. And I know Marks they've done some unbelievable programs to share this vision and to share equipment on tower sites. And they have several different phases that you can get in on. That if you have towers, they can put equipment on it, offset some costs. If they have towers, maybe you need some equipment on their towers. They are thinking outside the box at Marks to make this thing work. So that's really all I wanted to share with you is the grant possibilities for the fire departments. And if there's any questions, I can take them now, or I'll be glad to. I'm going to stick around until the last person goes out the door. So any questions, be glad to take them now, or I'll stay. I'm not the techie guy. I'm the Marks, as Darrell Anderson calls it, the flower fund. That's not what it is. It's your money. We're sending it back to you. Everybody know how the state fire marshal's office is funded? Where do these dollars come from? Anybody know? You're not alone. 0.75% of every fire insurance premium sold in Ohio goes directly to the state fire marshal's fund. That brings in $20 to $22 million a year, and that's why we're able to get $500,000 a year for training grants. BWC just gave us $1 million for firefighter one grants, $3 million for Marks radios, and I'll guarantee it's here to stay. It's going to be around a while, at least as long as I'm fire marshal. Questions? Going once, going twice. Back to you, Director.
All right.